Ladies and gentlemen, I just learned, I think some people had said it, but they talked about me on the yard and I haven't watched it. Cance actually did the nice thing and put it at the exact right time for me to watch it. Let's see what they say, huh? Third biggest comedy podcast on Spotify. At one point in time, I remember Ludwig sent me the picture. It looked really good. It's an old F. Yeah, it's from 2 weeks ago.
No.
He's such a weird career.
Why?
So Slime kind of shits on you, that's fine.
And then he's like, I'm going to become a full-time streamer. And then he like did really well, got like 6,000 subs. And then he's like, I'm joining Inner Sloth, the people who make Among Us.
What?
Are they talking about Blastoise?
I missed that.
He's stanzing his shit.
He's kind of standing.
He's playing Weeb Bingo.
Yeah.
He's just trying to do all the jobs they want to do.
Wait, so people like Among Us.
Stanz hops from dick to dick, just looking for the perfect size, and he can't find it. Like,
Why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you? I think that you have 80-something years on this planet, and you shouldn't just take the first dick. I think that if you have seen more than one dick in your life, you will realize that maybe you have a preference in length versus girth versus cut versus uncut. There's like a million things you might like, and I think it's important to figure it out.
Stanz,
Crass way to put it.
Is it?
Yeah.
I don't think it's crass. I think it's a very good example. I just think he's wrong.
How is that
Dick
crass?
to dick,
No, one
trying
day-
to find the
It's
perfect
a beautiful.
size.
It's a beautiful analogy.
This is how Cinderella should have been written.
That's right. Yeah. He's just getting fucking dug out every single one.
The dick doesn't.
Dog out is
out,
fucked.
Ladies, we have to figure out if the dick fits.
Dude, fuck. We'll never know unless we try.
Oh, I hate that.
And she's like, you know what? You're right. Get in there, big boy.
Your pussy's too tight. No.
How is this a podcast?
So that's Stanz.
Yeah,
He's
Stan.
career Cinderella.
You know what? Hey,
Put her there. Nice to meet you.
he's doing great though.
Yeah. It's just that
He's doing great though.
the idea behind Stanz is he just like gets bored of something fast, and then he's like, oh, I want to do this stuff because he's talking about returning to esports. Maybe.
You know what? He just, I think, has it right.
Dude, actually, say it again for the people in the back.
The idea behind Stanz is he just like gets bored of something fast, and
Agreed.
he's like, oh, I want to do this stuff because he's talking.
Hell yeah. That is 1,000,000,000% true. I get super duper bored of stuff. Just like the dick analogy. Like, why? You shouldn't just do something for your whole life if you don't think it's like the greatest thing in the world. Just keep trying things.
About returning to esports. Maybe.
You know what? He just, I think, has it right where he's more concerned about having a good life than, you know.
Yeah, but how?
Thank you, Ludwig. Imagine if you stuck with an interest because you thought you should, though, right? Isn't that the exact example you would use for someone who has a good life? Like, oh, I would like to try something else.
I'm just saying.
I would actually kill myself if I was just like, oh, this is it. I'm an accountant and I'm going to take one vacation a year and I'm going to maybe go to my fucking local sports team games. Fuck, no, thank you. God, no.
Company or like people who shop there?
Stans, if you're watching,
I assume the people.
I'm watching.
Okay. Hobby Lobby has it down. Hobby Lobby's very consistent.
Yeah, they're anti-abortion, pro arts and crafts.
Yeah.
They've got that all figured
I've
out.
checked all their boxes. Stans, if you're watching, wake up to your life, okay?
Oh, come on.
I just want him to.
You're the
to
same,
settle
right?
down.
I like
Yeah, we are the
Yeah,
same.
you are
I
the
like
same. That's why
Steve.
you're allowed to say this is because you're the same and you never have fulfillment.
I've talked to Stans about that too. I was like,
Me,
hey,
I'm
we're
so
we're
fulfilled.
always gonna be lost souls, never finding what we need. And he was like, oh, don't say that.
He sounds like Mrs. Doubtfire.
Stan's dressed up as Ari, Atriarch's fiance, doing Mrs. Doubtfire, trying to replace her in his life.
Dude, no. Okay, there's.
I love H-Rock. You know what? I'm not afraid to admit it. I'll stand up here on this rock and say I love that guy. I do not, for the life of me, understand this or the joke that they made in Italy where I have like his head in a bag.
And we start for some reason talking about Stans in Atriarch. I forget the context.
As you do.
But yeah, and he's just like, I have this idea where it's like Atriarch dies like suddenly, and like
Which is
Stans-
funny.
Yeah, which is already hilarious. And like Stans is just at like some Italian restaurant in Florence alone, and he's just got like a picture of Atriarch, and he's like ordering him food, and he's like, "Don't you like your food, Atriarch?" And he's like dead, but he can't let go, and he's like,
He got like a Wilson ball.
It's Atriarch's birthday, and he has a little hat on. He's like, I know it's gonna be like like pretty embarrassing, but I'm gonna sing for you. Whoa!
I think the funniest part about this is that Slime's sitting there in beautiful country. Look at this backdrop. They're eating a delicious meal, and he's like workshopping a bit about me sad that Atrioc is dead. I would be very sad if Atrioc died. Would I build a model out of a potato sack? Maybe. Would I take him to Italy and try and get him some tiramisu? Of course. Would I say my dogs are barking? Woo, 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 woo. That's a given. So what are you gonna do? This is just a true story. I just don't get it.
There's a better concept here. It's Mrs. Doubtfire, but Atrioc is Mrs. Doubtfire. No, it's me.
Okay. Okay.
No, it's such a good idea now.
Atrioc has kids.
Okay.
But him and Ari have a falling out.
Yep.
Atrioc gets into crypto, gets really weird. Ari's like, I'm done. I need to raise this kid alone. But then I try to beat Atrioc grandma.
You lost it.
But what's happening
just
here?
want to pretend to be
I can't-
Atrioc,
think
but
you're-
as an
I
old
think
woman.
You're the sober person here. This is insane.
He might have. Yeah,
Oh,
he's
Slime is
so
not
wrong,
on shrooms.
But he's incoherent and he's holding on to plushies.
Okay, no. Shut up.
I feel like every time I see Slime nowadays, and this is not a bad thing, he's got a plushie. That dude is living his best life because everyone likes a little pillow pet, just something to have and to hold, something to crank onto.
Atrioc tries to become Mrs. Doubtfire to
Okay.
reconnect with his kids that he has, and then teach him about crypto.
We'll just applaud again.
The whole point
Hey,
is for Atrioc to teach his kids about crypto. Dude,
funny,
Ludwig
dude.
has listened to
I like Nick's
Australian
hat.
Rick and Morty.
I both like it as a bucket hat, and I like it when he turns his head towards the camera and he kind of looks like he's doing witch girl shit.
Ludwig has
Does he not look like a witch girl right now? Like she's gonna do Instagram stories about these spells she's trying out?
Can
Oh,
I
you
watch
can't
it?
see. I'm
Please
sorry.
tell people-
Here, I'll give you the full view. I was cramping the scene. Tell me this dude isn't trying to charge up his stones in the moonlight.
twice now from the back seat of the car that he's in.
Dude,
I think we've
Wait,
probably got
wow.
past my point. I think Slime had a good take. I get it. I think that Slime is correct that we are very similar and we try new things. I don't think mine is like depressing in the same way. I think that that's totally fine. There's a chance that like a year from now I go, you know what, streaming not for me. I'm gonna get into base jumping, and then you guys can watch my Instagram me base jumping, non-monetized. You know.
Fuck.
I don't know. If that happens, I want to make sure that I am in a point in my life where I can do that pivot, right? And that's why making money at Gen G or these companies or streaming is important, so that I can do the thing. Do the things. Good episode. Good conversation. Weird Doubtfire reference. So if you get back into being a GM, can you make YouTube videos about being a GM that I can edit? Hey, we'll think about it, you know? I really like content creation, and I really liked being an esports GM. I think that as I get older, my proclivity for change has in itself changed. Whereas when I was younger, the longest I worked at a place was like 10 months. I wanted to try everything. I wanted to learn new things, this industry, that industry. But then all of a sudden I started staying longer and longer and longer until most recently I was at Gen G for what, 3 years? That's bonkers. That is a significant, that's 10% of my life, right? And streaming, I've already been doing a year. I'll probably do more. I might even break 3 years. Who knows? I've had my first and only job for going on 7 years. That's the Atrioc. Me and Atrioc are almost the exact opposite in that, where he worked at Twitch and Nvidia, and that's it. And I've worked at 20 places for much shorter. Did having good friends at your job not make you more hesitant to leave? I mean, you can still be friends with them. I do miss a little bit of like the camaraderie during the day, but it was replaced with like talking to chat, as parasocial in this direction as that goes. I enjoy when people come in here and make a funny joke, you know? When Midnight changes the title to something that makes me laugh.